So if that is the sign of piety, then the Sikhs are much more pious people, in fact. And this is how they are treated in Libya. So interestingly, somebody who returned from Libya a year ago, or about a year or 2 years ago, he told me some very interesting anecdote, or an interesting incident which he had observed himself. He said once a plane carrying Hajis came from Mecca and from Saudi Arabia, wherever it came from, but it was the returning Hajis it was carrying. So their relatives and friends all were there to receive them and garland them profusely. When also at the same time a plane from India landed there with Sikhs having larger beards than the Hajis. And everybody thought they were more pious people. So leaving their relatives and friends, they started garlanding the Sikhs that they are the bigger Hajis. So that is how, when you corrupt the religion in sense, sometimes you don't interpolate in letter and form, but still you change the form and the sense and corrupt the spirit. So these things, these ugly incidents appear where the proportion is destroyed. The truth is put behind the appearance and facade of piety, which in itself is, which in reality is no piety at all. I know your question was very small and pertained to a very small region of what I have said, but it is for the benefit of the rest why I have spoken so much on this subject, please. Thank you. But tell me, did I answer your question or not at all? Was your question answered in my response? Huh? A little bit, yes? Okay. Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I have a question. I would like to ask a question on the subject of Aqiqah.
Yes.
Would Huzur be kind enough to explain the philosophy underlying this Islamic practice of Aqiqah? When was this practice started? And why do we slaughter 2 goats in the case of a baby boy and 1 goat in the case of baby girl?
Yes. All these things are inferences. I mean, the facts are the bare facts that this is what we do. So an inference can be drawn by anyone. And yet you cannot positively say that that inference must be correct and the other inference may be wrong. But so I'll just offer guesses in this regard. I think that the philosophy of Aqiqah lies in the traditions of Hajj. During the Hajj, you shave your head, and also it dates back to earlier times and has its root adventitiously in various religions. Wherever there is a tradition of sacrifice, shaving of head, or either of men or of goats of sacrifice has been in practice everywhere in the world. So that is an indication that this person or this animal is being devoted to a deity, as the people understood. So during Hajj, when you offer the highest of worship and offer also sacrifices, you have your head shaved to indicate that now I have become yours. Previously, I was not as completely yours, O God, as now I have become. So that is the indication. Otherwise, there is no sense in shaving your head. And the same, as I understand, is the implication of shaving the head of a newborn baby, to indicate that in reality we devote this back to you. You gave us this present and gift, and we return it to you in the sense that we will try all our lives to make him yours, to train him as a devotee. If that is not the spirit, then the tradition appears to be meaningless. To me, this is the true philosophy and the spirit of shaving the head. But people have forgotten this and just practice it blindly, following something which they don't understand. And offering of sacrifice again reminds you of the Hajj, where the shaving of head is connected with the offering of sacrifice. You sacrifice a goat and shave your head. This is the practice of Hajj. So everywhere in the world you see a connection between the sacrifice and shaving of head. This further strengthens my view that my interpretation is correct. I mean, I'm quite confident. I think this must be the interpretation. Now, secondly, why 2 goats for a boy and 1 goat for a girl? Well, in inheritance you give 2 shares to the boy and 1 to the girl. Why to treat them equally when you represent them in sacrifice? That shows that the responsibility of men financially towards the society is twice as much as that of the ladies. That is the indication, obviously. Because the injunctions of the Holy Quran fall in steps with each other. They are so well balanced. In inheritance, the same attitude is adopted. Because according to Islamic philosophy, the responsibility of running the wheel of economy lies initially on man and not on woman. Because woman is created differently from man and she has to perform certain obligations and duties because she is created for them that man cannot. And she should also be treated more kindly in these respects. She has to bear children and undergo great labor and pain and suffering and risks of life, and then she has to bring them up. She has to cook the food and keep the house running and offer peace and bring beauty to the homely atmosphere and charm and soft sentiments and things. So for this purpose the woman is created and she fits in most beautifully for these objectives. She's made like this. If on top of this she was to be made responsible for running the wheel of economy and to be responsible for the maintenance of the household, that would be real sheer cruelty. It won't be an equality, it will be simple cruelty. So Islam tells us that it is the responsibility of man to support one's household. And in that regard, the ladies have no responsibility to discharge. So because the financial responsibility lies on man, so his share is doubled in inheritance. Because whatever is given to the lady is not for others. The others have no right. Of course she can distribute it to anyone. She can give it all over to the husband if she pleases. But that is of volition, not of responsibility, not of compulsion. So this internal order of Islamic injunctions is well balanced and tallies exactly with each other. Right? Yes, please. Hashim Saab, where have you come after a long absence?
You are landed about an hour ago. I came from Karachi State.
I see, you are coming from Karachi State here.
I went first to India and then to Pakistan.
You have not had your tea so far?
Pardon, sir?
You haven't had a cup of tea?
Not yet.
Not
yet, sir.
Yes, so somebody should provide you with a cup of tea here. Kava is name. Alright, I'll send you some kava to warm you up. Yes.
I stood here first of all to extend the Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh of many Ahmadis who met me before coming and they were weeping like anything.